I said was the lady needed to go back to Mexico. I don't need all this. And I made a comment for her to go back to Mexico. She can't speak English. This is America. We speak English.
The go back to where you came from line is a tell. After an altercation with employees at the Home Depot,
and then I turned around and you're gonna be rude, go back to your country. Go back to your country.
this woman used the same racist trope.
I remember when I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
You need to leave.
From parent conferences at school,
You know what? You guys need to go back to where you came.
places to eat,
You go back to Asia. Go back to Asia.
or simply being out in public.
Bye. Go to your own country. Go to your own country. Go to your own country, dreamer.
Like, a park.
Welcome to Oregon. Maybe you should go back to Philippines where you belong. Oh, racist.
To the folks we call our neighbors. And even political rallies. Sadly, NASCAR's lone black driver Bubba Wallace has fallen victim to this. The Associated Press, along with The Guardian and CBS Sports, report a hacker got onto Wallace's radio and said, "Go back to where you came from." They followed this with a non-racial expletive, as one may recall.
We are trying to figure out next steps, and my next step would be to get rid of all Confederate flags.
Because of Wallace's outspokenness on not wanting signs of slavery at the racetrack,
Family fought side by side with no.
So why do you carry that flag?
Because this is my heritage. My family fought to save their farm under this flag.
Who was working that farm?
My family was.
Who was working the farm?
They were poor. Do you know how much a slave cost back then?
with many fighting the same fight their slave-owning ancestors fought in the name of heritage and history.
It belongs in history books, and that's about it.
And even though legends like Dale Earnhardt Jr. spoke on it as well,
There should be no individual that is uncomfortable showing up to our events to have a good time with their family that feels some type of way about something they have seen, an object they have seen flying. No one should feel uncomfortable when they come to a NASCAR race.
Wallace was targeted.
NASCAR President Steve Phelps released this photo of a noose found in Bubba Wallace's garage at the Talladega Superspeedway.
With a noose being planted in his garage. There were retractions soon thereafter. Nonetheless, the right wing screamed the usual hoax and denied it like climate change. Seeing Wallace targeted yet again, it's a troubling pattern. Mike Ford, NASCAR's communications director and spokesman, would say the series immediately had its security and racing electronic teams look into the hack. He said Wallace did not hear the remark. The spokesman said NASCAR is trying to determine who cracked Wallace's communications and how it was done, as well as the best method to prevent it from happening again. Now, the go back to your country line conservatives love using is racist. Through and through. Don't take our word for it. Take the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's findings on it. It is widely viewed as discriminatory. One example of sadly many was the following. The EEOC filed a lawsuit against a California hospital on behalf of 70 Filipino-American hospital workers. The hospital workers allege they were the targets of harassing comments. Some Filipino-American workers were told they would be arrested if they did not speak English and were told to go back to the Philippines. The hospital settled the case in 2012, agreeing to pay nearly $1 million in the EEOC national origin discrimination suit.